How's it going, everybody? Harry here from Logitech. I'm going to be doing a little walkthrough of the G935, which is the wireless headset I have here. It's the same as the G635, just one is wireless versus wired. I wanted to do the 935 as a demo because it can do both. You got the best of both worlds. It does come with your little USB to micro USB charging cable, and then for wired connection, if you want to go without batteries, you got the 3.5 millimeter jack that goes straight into the headset. But yeah, all intents and purposes, this is the wireless one we got here. And it is designed as a gaming headset, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't perform well for things like movies and music and all of the above. It's a great headset, performs really well, but was designed originally for gaming, so that's where its main priority is. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk you through basically inside to outside of the headset, and then I'll go through some of the programmable features that you can use through our software called G-Hub. So starting on the inside, this thing has Pro G55 millimeter drivers built into it. So that's really going to help with your like low frequency, high frequency sound profiles. The lows, I mean, are like more of the booming explosions you'll hear, and that kind of like makes it more cinematic when you have access to like a really good frequency at low frequency levels. And then your high frequencies are things like when you're playing a game when you want to hear voices or footsteps or shots being fired. So that's going to help allow you to hear those type of aspects and be way more precise with your gameplay. So those are the two things that those Pro drivers will allow to help with in your gameplay. And then as well as there's a surround sound system built into this headset. So that's called DTS headphone, and it's X 2.0. That's the version of it. So surround sound in the headset really just helps the user immerse themselves into the whole 3D soundscape of a game or a movie or something that they're trying to get their whole senses into, right? So that's really going to help with that. And we can customize the abilities of your surround sound in G-Hub, which I'll show you in a bit. Now moving to the outside of the speaker of the headset here. So as you'll see on the top, we've got the adjustable headband, and it's got a nice leatherette here, really comfy memory foam, as well as the same on the oh, I lose my ear cup there. On the actual ear cup. So this is going to surround your entire ear, so it's not going to like put pressure on like parts of like the sensitive tissue there, so you can wear this thing for like many hours without having to worry about it hurting your head. And then the nice thing as well is when it is around your neck, instead of it kind of like choking you out like this, you can rotate them and it kind of sits on your collar, which is super comfy, and just like chilling there with your headset on your collar instead of having it kind of like choking you out. And that way you can just go straight from around your neck back to on your head. And then those ear cups are removable for cleaning purposes. But yeah, that's really nice leather there and super comfy. Moving on to some of the buttons. So you'll notice that like the left one has like all the goodies in it, and the right one is pretty basic. So here we've got the power switch just on top here. So that's just a little toggle. These three here, that's hard to see in the camera here, but those are programmable G keys. So these three you can program to do anything from macros to button assignments, and I'll show you how to do that in G-Hub. And then the last button there is a mute, and then your volume scroll wheel right here. And then moving to just underneath that same ear cup, we've got the attachment for that charging cable, which is micro USB to USB, and then the 3.5 millimeter input for the audio jack there. And then as I tilt it forward, you'll see that the microphone is just like hidden in here. It's pretty nice, pretty sleek design. So when it's in the upright position like this, it is muted, and then when it comes down, it comes off mute. And then you've got the extendable boom arm, which you can like kind of bend a bit to get the nice kind of closer to your mouth if you like your sound profile to be there or farther away, up and down, super versatile, and pops back in like that and into the upright position. And the last cool thing I love about this is that these ear cups actually pop right off. So it's a magnetic connection, right now the dongle is not in there, but the USB wireless receiver dongle for this headset, it's plugged into my computer right now because I'm doing the demo for you guys, but it fits right in there. So super easy for like when you're on the go or like a little carrying case kind of thing. You just put everything in the headset, so you don't have to worry about like looking for like loose ends. And then I said these are magnetic, so they just like pop back in super easily. The other side has the same thing, but it's just the battery in there, so you won't need to remove that. But just so you're aware, yeah, that's in there. And then obviously, as you can see when I had it mounted here, this is light sync enabled, as you can see by the light bar here and in the logo. So yeah, super easy to do, but I'll segue into that stuff with G-Hub right now. So let me fire up G-Hub. There you go. So if you haven't seen G-Hub before, it's a free software by Logitech G, and it'll pick up all your Logitech G peripherals. Right now you can see that I got the Pro Wireless Mouse G935, which I'm showing you, and it'll pick up some odds and ends like the Brio webcam I'm using for this stream. But yeah, jumping into the 935. So you just have to click on it, and it'll bring you to the first heading, which is Light Sync. I'm just going to work my way down here. But yeah, Light Sync, you have your primary, which are the light bars here, or as you can see in the on the screen there, yeah, the light bar that comes from the top of the ear to the bottom. So there's a couple effects we can use for that. We can put it on a fixed color, and you can mess around with the color, whichever one you like. And then you can put it on a cycle that goes through all the colors. Breathing, which is that same fixed color, but it kind of goes in and out of brightness. Screen sampler, so if you're playing a game and there's like a bunch of different colors, it'll be projecting that color into the headset. And then lastly is audio visualizer, which speaks for itself. It'll be when the big booms happen, it'll light up, and you can pick the colors that you want it to light up with. So yeah, those are all effects for the primary, and then you can do the same for the logo, the little G logo here. And then you can change the rate at which it cycles at, the brightness, and obviously you can sync them together. Syncing lighting options, you can sync to your other devices. So like my mouse, if I wanted to all be on the same cycle, I can have that happen, but I'm just going to leave it for now. So yeah, back to cycle. And then moving on to assignments. So this is those 3 G keys I was telling you about. So on the back here, right now they're programmed for G1 is Equalizer Cycle, G2 is Surround Sound Toggle, and then the last one is Cycle Maximum Brightness. So those are like the standard ones it comes with. Those are super useful, but maybe that's not what you want to use them for because you don't need to use those settings. So here's some like, on just like the left bar here, there are some regularly used ones, and they're just on a drag and drop interface. So bass decrease, I can just throw in there, and now that G3 does that. There's also commands, so things like for editing, like copy paste, Windows commands, so like open a task or lock your PC. So it's just like if you want to if you're on your wireless headset, you step away from the game, maybe you're like cooking in the kitchen or something like that, and you got your headset on, and you're like, kind of want to lock my PC. You can just click the G key, boom, easy. Because you're gonna have 15 meters of wireless range with this thing, so you can just walk around the house, do whatever you want. Yeah, super easy to use. Moving on, there's just individual keys, actions. So these are integrated things like Discord and OBS. Macros is a whole nother system, but macros is when you create an assignment. So you can go into the macro setting and kind of mess around with something that you'd like to happen, like a continuation of something, and then program it to one key. And then lastly, system. So this is your actual operating system if you want. So for the mouse, and then for editing, your operating system, it's very similar. But yeah, you'll just have to mess around with this and see what you want to have at the touch of a finger versus going through your whole system or using shortcuts, right? And then lastly, or second to last, acoustics. So obviously you can't hear what's happening in the headset, but I'll show you what when you're testing surround sound, what it sounds like.
This is the left channel. Next, we have the center channel. Over here is the right channel.
So you get the idea. You want enable surround sound on. You want to have that checked, and then you'll have this profile here where you can either decrease or increase the volume on this little navigation here. So this is your front, your back, your rights, and your lefts. Bass is obviously separate. But say you wanted it to be a little bit stronger in your left than your right, you can adjust for that. Obviously, your volume for your headset, the volume for the mic, so the mic actually has to be unmuted for you to be able to control that. And then side tone is what you hear in your headset, so of your own voice through the microphone. So some people like to hear a little bit of themselves talking. I personally don't, so I take it off, but yeah, it's what you hear. And then your stereo mode, I have it in traditional, but front and wide, they kind of speak for themselves. If you want more of the surround sound to be prominent in the front or out wide, traditional is more all around, so I just like it on there, and you can always turn it off. And then last is the equalizer settings. These different mods here are super, super helpful. The default obviously is just like right in the middle, and the same with flat, but for things like a first-person shooter, so like games like Call of Duty or something like that, it's going to have a little bit of a different hertz level. So these are your lows, 32, and 16K are your highs, so as I was talking about before. And then for like mixed multiplayers, it's like a whole different setup. So yeah, play around with this as much as you want. There's a ton of different settings, and yeah, you got to just like figure out what kind of floats your boat. But this headset is super great. You're gonna get like 12 hours of battery life with this thing, so it's gonna last forever without needing a recharge. And obviously, you're gonna have to power off and on. So yeah, really great headset. Super helpful to have it wireless. Yeah, so get one of these around your ears and get to figure out what it sounds like and how it feels, and you'll love it. Thanks so much for jumping on today, and really appreciate that. Have a great rest of your day, guys.